Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. We survived. At least I tried. Anyway, it's been an interesting day. The theme was announced. I've been working on like some vlog or devlog stuff all day, and not all day, but like my lunch hour, and just coming up with ideas. Alchemy and shadows. Or, yeah, either way. I've been writing my notebook too, ideas. I took a walk at lunch to try to come up with some ideas. Wrote on my whiteboard. But first, let's bring it in here. Let's talk about what I'm talking about. Uh, Twice a year, Fire Software does a game jam. I started as like last one, and then at the same time I was doing the Godot Wild Jam, and so I decided to just do the Godot Wild Jam, which was like one of the first videos I did back in January, like beginning of February. And then February's game jam was Escape, which led to Eudaimonia, or Eudaimonia, which is the game I'm actively working on as like my main game. And so that I was like, all right, I'm gonna come back and do Pyro Software's next jam. And so here it is. But this time, the theme is Alchemy and Shadows, which is like hard. And then I wanted to add some constraints because I know myself. I even put it in like one of the little devlogs. I'm trying to do it as I go. I need to stop saying too. Is the issue of scope creep. I mean, we're all the same, right? Every developer out there has a problem with scope creep because we're like, we have all these ideas, we want to do them, but there's only 2 weeks, which means we have to like limit ourselves to like you've done 2 weeks. It does require like a game design document, which I'm gonna do my like 1-pager idea. We're gonna do some prototyping, which is what today's about. We're gonna figure out our idea. We're gonna do what we do best, and then I added some additional constraints because the rules are. Let me see if I can pull up the page, and I'll switch to that. Okay. So the jam. There it goes. I was like, why didn't it get rid of my background? That was weird. Who knows what's going on? It ends in like 13 days, or 14 technically. Today's day 1. Shadows and Alchemy. Combining the 2 winning themes, Shadows and Alchemy. Shadows can relate to a number of different subjects outside of light levels. That's a good point. Think about shadow governments, secret societies, or elemental effects. Alchemy can also be used much more than mixing potions. Alchemy is about transformation, synthesis, combination, and hidden knowledge. I really liked what did I think about it? Oh, Full Metal Alchemist. Transformation. Themes are meant to be a restriction that you need to solve your way out of. Don't despair. I'm not despairing. It's just a little difficult. Because I definitely don't want to make like potion craft. Anthony, welcome. Hey, Shadow. Hey, you are perfect for this game. Welcome aboard, my friend. We're just getting started. We're setting the scene, as it were. The rules, don't be dumb. Follow TOS, like all the good stuff. No AI. They want a game design document. That's fine. It's just me. Be cool. Don't use assets you don't have rules for. And on that, something. Yeah, personal wallet. I like this one. On this one, I'm literally going to use a sprite and 1-bit dragon and just do it my like. I want simple shapes. I want to do effects. I want to do cool stuff. And no assets that I'm gonna buy or anything. So, I think it's the right way to do it. So, which will hopefully restrict me on this. Maybe, hopefully. So yeah, mine is yeah, make it simple. Be use a sprite, use 1-bit drag, which is like this app is really cool. Like, you hear that? I just realized you guys can't hear that. I did this earlier thinking like, oh yeah, it'll be good. You know what, we'll just switch this to default. There you go. That's 1-bit dragon. It's amazing. We're gonna use it. We're gonna be simple. But first, we need to figure out what the heck we're doing. Are you guys doing the jam? What are you guys up to? If you're participating in the jam, how's it going? If you're not and you're just sitting on the sidelines, how's it looking from the sidelines? You know, how's it going? I'm hopefully by the end of tonight, we'll have some vague idea of what we're doing. We'll be in the right direction, and we'll be able to go the next 13 days strong. I'm not streaming for all those days. I'm doing a devlog at the same time. Kind of like notes on it, so we'll see. Well, you'll see. But that way, maybe some of the boring stuff I'll be cutting out. But I don't know. I say that a lot. Okay. So, Shadows and Alchemy, which I already created my handy dandy folder here. Do I not have a drawing page? I do not. Okay, well, we're gonna create a new drawing. Avert thy eyes until dark mode has been found. Brainstorming. So, this is the whiteboard, as it were. Blackboard, whiteboard, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna brainstorm. We have ideas. I have written down a few things while I've been thinking about stuff today, and I will translate them. And we will either love them, hate them, throw them away. It doesn't matter. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday. I'm still in the middle of my move. I'm going to be moving. It's going to take a while for that to work. There's a good chance. Of course, I decided to do a jam in the middle of the hectic times of my life, but that is what it is. It's just another challenge to overcome. As things go on, I'll let you guys know things. I'll post stuff in like Discord or Twitter, wherever. And if I cancel a stream, whatever. But I usually do Tuesday, Wednesdays, Fridays. And then depending on what's going on, in like a month or so, I think everything will be resolved. Well, hopefully in a month. We'll see. It all depends on like, I've got to go through the whole, like I'm trying to buy a house. So if I can do it and it all works out, when you guys know something, I'll know something. I'm really hoping I get like fiber. Like that's one of my big things. But yeah. But you didn't come for that. You came for this. So we've got the theme, shadows and alchemy. Now, you don't have to be literal. Let's see, things I've got here. I think shadow, I think too obscure, to hide, to harm, alchemy, transform, cure, fix, improve, change. So let's see, let's go through some ideas out. One of them was like different take on viruses. Oh, my game is called Solar Obscure. Really? What's it about? What you making it in? Just the fate of things, I suppose. We could do like a roguelike. And then I was thinking almost like we could also do like an automation factory. Pie game? Nice. I haven't touched pie game in forever. But Python's like a, yeah. I wish you the best of luck with it. It's yeah, we're all in this together. Let's see. We should probably answer the questions of like, what is the objective? Should probably put like inspirations. Got things like potion craft, which I watched like a YouTube video of it, and it was like, it's okay. It's literally is alchemy. And then, you know, Full Metal Alchemist. Spy games. Assassins. I think that's the way we spell it. What was the other one? Like Minecraft create mod. Because the whole automation stuff. All the roguelikes. We have 2 weeks. 7:31 is the deadline. So whatever we make, we have to be able to get it done, get enough polish on it, think about like everything that could slow me down, all the things going on right now. So it can't be too crazy, but I still want it to be good. Like immediately when I think roguelike, I'm like, this might be like too much to take on. It's like, in the end, I want to be able to like just use like circles and squares arrows and stuff for the assets. Starting with a simple narrative helps me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we should put, because I want to do shapes. I'm going to be like, just shapes and beats. I love that game. That's like a big inspiration. And it's very simple in a sense. I do a rhythm game? But those are also really hard. But it would be interesting to do like song, like music transforms them. But like I think the narrative is actually a very good point. Yeah, all day I've been like thinking about this. Mixes. I've been having thoughts of like using like sun and shadow. But even if we kind of like used it as inspiration and didn't use like the literal meaning. Hey Mars, welcome. We are brainstorming on the game for the game jam for Shadows and Alchemy. I'm having a tough time and trying to think of even like a narrative that I'd want to use. It has to be short because we want to make this game live in the bottle. The last game jam I did started me making my main game that I've been working on. So this cannot exist past the 2 weeks. It has to get submitted, do the best we can do, limit to shapes. So sounds and songs can be used as ingredients for alchemy. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Sidetrack to you. What program is this? No worries, man. Ask as many questions as you want. I'm pretty good at getting back to it. I mean, I've got a little bit of ADHD, but it is Obsidian. It is an awesome app. It's free. No sponsorship, no subscription plans. All platforms. You can pay for sync, or you could just use Git and like commit and then have it everywhere and for free. You can do Canvas. You can then get the plugin for Excalidraw. It's all in Markdown. It's amazing. And it's totally 100% free. And that's why I like it, because I'm sick of paying for subscription programs. But yeah, we could... I do... Yeah. free rhymes with me. Heck yeah. That's right. I mean, it feels like every time I turn around, there's a new app that wants to charge you a bunch of money. So having a place to store all my notes, because I also use it as my second brain. I do all my project work in there. It's saved into Git. Like I've got the Git plugin and it like saves it, so then I can pull it down from anywhere. I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to worry about like some company owning all my data. It's so nice. Love it. And we're using Godot 4.3 for the project today because it has the web export, and I got that working, and I know that works, and so we're going to use that. But before I worry about that, could we do... How would that work? you can do that. And you just deal with the saving stuff, the save. However well the syncing works on like OneDrive, however that syncs for files for you is how it syncs there. It saves everything in a markdown format. So it's just markdown. So they're just files of markdown. And those will be easy. Nothing crazy to it. They're all just a fancy way of dealing with markdown with so many things that make it easy. So recommended. Because it's free and it works. And I've been using it for a year or two now. I think it's been like a year and a half. Since I switched from Notion to like Nuclino, and I didn't like the like cloud stuff that didn't have proper offline, and I moved to it, and I haven't looked back. It's like could we do so let's play with this idea of the rhythm game. Like let's talk it out here. Looks cool. I showed up for Godot game design. I picked up a new program. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Rhythm game idea. So something I learned from reading the Build a Second Brain book is when you're creating anything, when you're working on any project, no matter what it is, you have two different modes. You've got the like you are open to everything. And you're like taking in all of the information. And that's currently the step we're in right now. We're taking ideas, we're throwing them against the wall, and we're happy with that. We're like, there's no such thing as a bad answer. We're like, we're not doing anything, but we're gonna take in everything we can. And once we get to an idea that we like, we're gonna flip that and reject new ideas and only keep the info we saved. Like, and this is to like prevent us from scope creeping and like really just working on finding the core of what we want. But these are two different modes. You can't be in both of these modes at the same time. So when we're looking for an idea, we should not be looking to refine our idea. So right now we're in this open to everything style. So we're gonna let's run the rhythm game through its paces and see if we like it. If we don't like it, remember we're not committed to anything, which is the coolest part. Like, give yourself permission to say no or explore something further. So here we have, let's see, the idea of like songs, maybe sounds, that are ingredients, maybe. And then what would you maybe have like? Does like the player have to press a key at the right time and like Guitar Hero it to like to transform it? I don't know. To make the song, like you have to do that. Of like, there's something missing because this is like, obviously it becomes like Guitar Hero. Some of this I kind of like. At the very least, I'm intrigued by this. Instruments like flutes, strings enhance your alchemy. So what do we have technically here is our arsenal. I have like everything. I've got basses, I've got clavinets, cowbells, pads, saxophones, you know, I can go saxophone. And we have different chords we can do. So we could use these as like our, like we can use this also as a, get some inspiration from. Like this, some of these, we don't have to do all of them. We've got like some chiptune. That's cool. We gotta keep the scope small. We have access. We do have access to instruments. So that at least already. Do we want to do like quick time? Like how do we? Yeah, like the quest and what is the actual interaction? Like say let's go with, let's say we've got like bass 1, R2, violin. I have a violin, right? I don't know if this is a violin or not. I'll just go with strings. Strings 1. Right. Which act as our ingredients? And then maybe like chords or like enhancements. All right, they're the, so I went bass 1 and then bass 1. Okay. Not quite. What are you thinking? I'm trying to think of like, because each key, you know, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you thought I was wearing a tux? No. Welcome. That'd be something. The sounds are ingredients, the instruments are tools. Okay. Yep. We're trying to figure out not instruments are tools. And the sound themselves is the ingredients. Yeah, we're playing with ideas. Right now we're playing through the idea of like, what if we did a rhythm game? Because we're gonna use 1-Bit Dragon, Ace Bright, and Godot. And kind of like walking through it. Delicious, delicious jam. So then like the chords, I really like the combos in the end. Because they're, If you actually can identify them. Yeah, sound alchemy is what we're doing. Well, we haven't committed. I just got to explaining it. We're kind of in this open to everything uh, mode where we're walking through this one. We have some ideas like viruses, roguelike automations, but rhythm games keeps calling to me. Stage. Yeah, we don't really have a narrative. Open to everything. Me and my wife couldn't help but notice your vibe from across the. Fritzy, it's good to see you, my friend. uh, Example would be you come to a mountain and use sounds to create a door or a ravine, and you use the sound to make a bridge. Mm. And so, if we're using like basic shapes, because that's the other part I'm doing. You said you're in the open to everything stage. I mean, I knew it. When you're taking information on a new project, you should be open to every idea, and you should also feel free to reject certain ideas. But talk to me after the show, Fritzy. uh, yeah. How do we do that? So if we did the how would that look? Because we're with basic shapes. If we've got, say, our little rhythm dude who's like running around, because we're only doing basic shapes. Say we've got this, and now we'll call that like a ravine. Right? No, an ad has appeared. Um, you'd what? Like somehow play a song to generate a bridge, and then go across. No, you got a shadow element nailed down yet? I don't. That's the other issue. Although, okay, I have an idea. Let me know what you guys think. What if we do this, like the devil goes down to Georgia. Like, it's a tournament. And you are dueling the other person, right? The NPC in this case. And you can arrange your song how you want. Do I need to repeat that? I'm sorry, the ads. I know the ads were there. Some of you don't get ads, and I sometimes get lost, but I was stuck on an idea. I'll just re-say it. What if we went with a tournament style? Like, you have to then fight these guys, but you fight using music. And so then your sound alchemy to beat the enemy and you arrange different uh, tools and sounds and styles. Um, and maybe it's like different elements like sky and air and water and shadow. Um, and then you like mix them together and it plays a song and you try to beat their song. And then you just have to beat, like, become the winner. Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. It's cooking. It's in the oven. It hasn't fully became golden brown yet. I think it needs more time in the oven, that's for sure. I mean, Guitar Hero, you battled Lucifer. Yeah. But I also don't have time to build Guitar Hero. Tournament is cool. Mind always goes to explore, but fighting is awesome. It was actually that song too. Yeah. So my thing is like exploring. I love exploring games. I even was like, I like automation. I love playing like the Minecraft Create because you can do all this engineering stuff. I was gonna do even thinking like a Factorio or like production line thing builder, but I have to remember there's 2 weeks. I also have to build the game design document, which like means I really need to get these like settled. And I need a way to confine and restrict myself that I don't get stuck in something that requires a lot of tediousness. Yeah, I'm doing the Pirate Software Jam. Yeah. I'm taking a break from my game. I figured do it. There's like thousands of people doing it. Or go Footloose, Shadow Government, Defeated by Friendship and Music. Wait, that might be Hi-Fi Rush or My Little Pony. uh Friendship is magic. I played a D&D wizard whose research was the power of friendship. Like looking as the source of magic. It was funny once. What if it? Okay. What if I took a page out of Undertale, right? So you got the dude, playing his song in the tournament. You're down here, right? And then you have to like avoid all of the stuff. And then after that, it's then like your turn. And then you've got to play stuff. And then the NPC tries to avoid it. And you've got to beat it. Turn-based. Kind of like how like rappers do their lyric offs. Yeah, it turned into basically a bullet hell. You'd use your music, and because they turn into like chords, like this. Then you would just like turn them into, whatever. And that way you can, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm in the oven, you know. I'm still thinking. I'm cooking. I am using 1-bit dragon. It's I don't think it's free, but it might be. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Wow. It's $30 now. Just make Harappa the rapper. It sounds familiar. Is that the one I think it is? Ah, yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. No. I can't just make that. I've got scales. In 2 weeks, my friend. In 2 weeks. Remember. And also, I'm like moving and like doing a bunch of stuff to get like buy a house and all this stuff. So you can have a kick drum. Doesn't have to be a long game. Don't sell yourself short. I just know that I get into a bad habit of scope creep. Like, very easy. All it takes is just that one little step. So I'm just thinking about it from that perspective. So, like the bullet hell idea, I kind of like some of that. I'll just throw this out here. Bullet hell? Question mark? I'll throw another. I'll say Parappa the Rappa. We'll just throw that out there. So how do you prepare for battles? It's a good question. But like, what if each thing, like, see how it's like green, so it's like base, so it's like an earth style, and like flute is like light. Could you only have so many that you can put together, and then what they're like strong or weak against is based on some like chart? Like, if you're a 6 sniper, you're always scope creeping. Yeah. Sure. Like maybe different level instruments as match rewards. Ooh. Yeah. That'd be interesting because, like, I mean, I've got these different bases. Coming together. Or you can get more notes. Yeah, what if? Okay. Scope creeping. All right, like we've got Earth 1, Water 1, Shadow 1. I don't know. I'm just naming things up. Air 1, right? And then maybe it's trying to think about what would it be. I'd almost want to call it quiver. Sheets. Sheets. Yes. Anthony knows what's up. Sheets. And so you know, you go like 1. Something like that. Like, let's say each time you do it, it like increases the number. And like, this is like the number, and this is like the damage for that type. That type. And maybe you could, if you mix the two, it's like some combined version. Maybe one for health. Ooh, we could have like focus, like concentration for like being able to, like, as your health bar, as it were. And the better focus, the more you can stay. Like concentration. Maybe light, because we have shadow. I haven't quite figured out UI yet for it. That's got to be simple. With the +1, you'll have like I don't know, something like that. It would be cool if you get hit with shadow, your bullet hell box shrinks, or the vision around you. They could have effects. Like, they, let's say it like shrinks the box for, you know, some seconds. Maybe I think like Earth. But put an emphasis on shadow, so it's like defeat the darkness, kinda. Like don't starve. Yeah. Makes me wonder if we should be able to have shadow. Maybe it's like we could use it against them. I don't know. It's been a while since I saw what Don't Starve does. Did you kind of go crazy? Is that right? I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I played Don't Starve. Darkness kills you, always need fire. Interesting. Don't Starve was the inspiration for the shadow part of my game idea? Okay. Hmm. Yeah. I think it'd be cool to what is it like? Sans Undertale fight. Um like I like the craziness of this, and I want to be able to use some of it, like inspiration of that anyway. It's like I like the fast pace, I like the bullet hell idea, and I like mixing it with music. And I like the darkness kills you idea too with shadows. Having shadow causes a fork where you choose to be dark. Using forbidden chords are powerful, but cost more focus. Inspiration. I know. Scope creep. Scope creep. Scope creep. Sound the alarm. Shadow kills your inspiration. These are all really good ideas. Do you like the idea of giving them the choice? Okay. What if, like, the first part of it, um, you're like training, you're fighting, you're going, you do reach that fork in the road, and then you pick, which side you're going. Either way, like, there should be like a narrative for like the king or top if you're on the light side. And if you're going the shadow, you kill that king that you would normally fight for if you chose the light, and like vice versa. So I like the idea of like opposite sides. So it's like, let me just throw this out here. Remember, we're still in the open to anything perspective. Like we haven't decided anything. We could at any moment say, nah, let's go do something else and just throw this away. We're just cooking. Fork in the road. Pick light or shadow. What's the theme? King Evil Arthur. The theme is alchemy. Yeah, like darkness must have a side. The theme is shadows and alchemy. Opposite sides is a winner. I like that. I like it. What that gamer said too, darkness must have a cost. I like that darkness has a cost. Now, I know I'm not creative. What? Wait, now I know I'm. What do you mean by that? What? I've been in like a block all day about what I was going to build. You should see my notes. They look ridiculously stupid. So, this has been awesome. Shadows, Alchemy. Yeah, no, all day I've been like, you should see some of my vlog, my devlog I've been, but I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I went on a walk today because I was like, I need to think about this. It's just hot out. I learned nothing. Darkness has a cost. Shadow kills your inspiration. Oh, I haven't really assigned these things. So we've got a bullet hell rhythm game of light and dark. I kind of like it. A little bit of tournaments going on. Coming the idea of converting things, yeah, transforming and shadows. So the idea is sound is our alchemy. So like we're gonna take music, we're gonna create music, and that's our alchemy. We're gonna transform mere sounds into songs and transform it into power to rival our enemies. It's kind of a stretch, I know. But I like the idea of sound alchemy. Don't forget your shapes. Yep. And we're only using basic shapes, from squares to diamonds to circles to arrows. Basically, if I can make it in Aseprite pretty simply, I'm going to do that. I'm fine doing like a squish and that for animations. Like I can do that pretty easily because it has to get done in time. And that's the other part I'm thinking about. So, a sound alchemy inspired by just shapes and beats, Para the Rapper, a Bullet Hell, and Guitar Hero with like avatar elements of the light and dark perspective. That's not a whole lot of scope creep, is it? Jeez. Hmm. I like tournament. How are you planning to incorporate music into it? Well, I've got 1-bit dragon here. I've got different basses and instruments here. And you have the different sound sheets here. And basically, I was going to make every like step here this would also be, think of it like the Godot engine space. And so as the song goes out, is basically as it's firing out across it basically acts as if it's being played. And so base. I'm just using green here, so it's like base is like an earth element instrument. And it would basically just export it, bring it in, copy these things, have these different chords as different ways to pick as your bullet style. And then those would then lay on top of each other. Like these would basically be on top of each other. So that's what I'm thinking. And then the number of these that you can do. So like, in fact, these can be like our sheets. Like this is one sheet. This is two sheets. So that like is like number of bullets. And then their damage level is based on this. Like if you put points into the earth, like your base would become like a level 2 base. You'd use the level 2 base instrument. And it'd be maybe stronger, but you'll only have one sheet if you only put one sheet in there. Yeah, I got. I tell you, I spent a lot of the day not knowing what the heck I was gonna do. I watched Potion Craft. I did a bunch of stuff. I almost wanted to build like a factory game where you'd like build barrels of alchemic stuff. But I'm actually really liking this idea of a rhythm bullet hell. I make up for my coding prowess with creativity. There you go. Ah, Bezos is here for his pennies. Drink some water, yeah. You should too, chat. Stay hydrated. Man, today I couldn't think of anything. It's crazy. Let me some water. H2O. I actually need to be good about drinking more water. I'm so bad. I'll just have it sitting next to me and I'll forget about it all day. It's crazy. And then I'm like, I wonder why I'm so thirsty. Not drinking any water in these like 100-degree weathers. It's crazy. I would be too literal, I think. I mean, I was pretty literal all day. I was like, motor, pestle, truly alchemy stuff. And then, I don't know, we kind of went down this. So, like, this is the idea of just, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. You're awesome. You collect random sheets that support different elements. Could you have, let's say, because we know we can have like light or shadow. Would you say that the like sheets are like per instrument? So Like these could be like grayed out to start with. Not really good grayed out one, is there? I would be thinking something about a potion builder, combining things and alchemizing them, which produced shadows or something, then requiring maintenance of how much shadow residue is affected. Your produce or something like some sort of efficiency. Thanks for the follow bars. Appreciate it. You're awesome. True. Like an upkeep. Hmm. Which I guess your focus is maybe your upkeep. But I am solo for the game jam. It's all me. Honestly, I should totally be bringing in Spookers, who's my music guy. Hold on. Let me call him. Well, I'll text him. So, Spookers is helping me build my other game at Eudaimonia as my like music. That's wild. I'm in a team because I can't do anything but art and ideas. That's funny because I can't do art at all, which is why I'm doing basic shapes. I mean, I do pixel art and stuff, but it's. But if I get Spookers on this, he's my musician. Like he's good with music. He just set up his stuff. I'm terrible at art myself. I mean, I'm not that great. I know how to put pixels on a sprite, and I call myself that's good enough. I'm an art and idea guy also. I'm a coder. Can't so many ideas because all games actually go through that phase where it looks crappy. And then you get better and you just iterate on it. Guys, remember the first version of the phone that I was working on for Eudaimonia? It did not look good. Oh man. It looks way better now. He might be sleeping. He goes to bed early. I might call him tomorrow. See if he wants to do it. What apps am I using for brainstorming? I am using Obsidian. I should have kept the page open. Obsidian is awesome. It's completely free. I am not sponsored, but they could totally sponsor me if they want to, because I didn't want any more subscription programs. Totally free. This pricing is for sync. You don't even need to sync it. You can use OneDrive, you can use Google Drive, or you can get the Git plugin and commit to Git automatically. It'll wait for you to be idle and auto commit, and then pull it down from anywhere. You're not the first person to say this. That's okay. I used like Evernote and Notion and all these things, and I hated the whole like data owned by a company thing. Baby coder, I've been trying to dev for about 9 months. That's fine. Yeah, go for it. Don't stop and use yourself. I've been coding for. I've been writing code for like 20 years. I've been doing it professionally for 15. So the code I'm not scared of. It's this stuff. It's the make the stage, make the scene. Another thing. So I'm a huge D&D fan, right? I like making YouTube videos, so I have some flair for making videos, which I'm trying to get better at. I promise I am trying to make those videos. Have you guys ever heard of Cortex Prime? My D&D group, I think the coding is the easiest part to get hang of. Can be. Could also be the hard part too. This is an RPG system, and let's see if I can find here. There's a thing I really like about Cortex. Yes, here it is. So Cortex uses the terminology from scripted entertainment that inspires it. Stories unfold in scenes, and each opening scene, bridges scenes have beats. And so, like, ugh, it's gonna make me log in. I don't want to. Be back to my rules. So it's got scenes, sessions, and beats. So you got like a whole session. Every session has a scene, has like multiple scenes in it. And then where's the here you go. Each session has like each scene has a beat, and beat being the most dramatic point of the scene. And so I try to use that in the stuff I'm developing too. So when I'm thinking about like these scenes and these battles, right? The session is the time that the player starts the game, starts a new run, and then a scene is like the round, right? It's like them starting. And then the beat has to be the most dramatic, exciting part of it. And if you miss it, you know it because people are like, oh, that wasn't that fun. The payoff wasn't there. And so I try to think about that too when I'm looking at these scenes. I've tried coding as well, to no avail. I managed to make a platform character walk and jump in Godot, but usually I just dabble on RPG Maker because most of the coding is done for you. But you could do much more than that. People think without custom coding portions. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of just using the right tool for what your like skill set is associated with that. Yep. Yes. Yes, I'm doing the jam too. Welcome. Yeah, use the engine that works for you. Thanks. I take it you're doing it too. How's your ideation phases going? But yeah, what I was talking about, like, use the tool, use the engine that works good for your skill set. If an engine, like, if you're not a good coder, like you're not really comfortable with writing code, you probably shouldn't use Unreal Engine, for instance. But if you're like a really, really good coder, then maybe, you know, you're not using Scratch. I don't know, just to like throw it out there. You need to use the thing that you're comfortable with, and you feel like you feel good in. Because if you feel any kind of like restriction, you're gonna like stop yourself from even starting. Not sure yet, but my team have an idea. Need to prototype out the feel of it. Nice. That's what we're doing. We're in the don't let Fritzy know, but we're in the open to everything stage of our design. We're almost crossing this bridge. We haven't locked it in yet. But it's coming together, I think. I think we're really leaning towards a rhythm game. I completed one task already. Making sure full screen works on the browser. Oh, that's a good one. The only things I've done is to make sure that I can compile and export this to a web browser and it runs on the 4.3. So I'd made sure that this works. So, huzzah. I have a working thing. So that's all I've done from like that perspective. And now I'm in the let's see about building this. Well, let's see about designing an experience that's worth building and then limiting, because I also have, not only is it like the pirate software jam constraints, but I have my own constraints on top of it. Only shapes, keep it simple, make sure I can only draw an sprite, and I can animate it. So I can like transform them. I'm going to be using 1-bit dragon for my music stuff, and Godot. So try to like keep it simple. Try to reduce scope creep, but the rest of everyone here is going to tell you how easily we've slid right into scope creep corner. Okay, now that we've gone down rhythm game, let's at least give these a fair shake. Remember to scope in music and sound effects too. I always forget those. Yeah, so the idea is interesting. Taking like the idea of Undertale with and like a bullet hell style, and like the notes are like the bullets. Half of my games have 0 sound. Yeah, well, the fact that this is like a music game, if I have no sound, I immediately fail right out the gate. Yeah. So let's just put a comment on here like I am liking this one. My games are still soundless. Yeah, I hear you. I think my game jam in January, Primal Jump, was soundless. And I had so many comments on it, like, hey, this game would be cool if it just had like a sound when you boosted. And I'm like, what music gonna use? I'm gonna use 1-bit dragon, and I'm gonna use the chords as like the bullet hell. And so as it goes across the screen, it's gonna play the chord. And you can gain sheets, as in like gain new or like longer plays. Supposedly, we haven't confirmed. We haven't nailed it in. But then like these would overlap on each other, and based on which instruments you've gained as like elements for your alchemy. Yeah, 1-bit dragon is like a simpler version of FL Studio. I'm a huge fan of it. It's a way to restrict me going crazy with like FL Studio, which I have FL Studio. I just don't want to use it. I want to use something that is simple. I want to go simple. All right. Okay, 1 out of 10. Do I want to do this now? Or how about... Okay, yeah, we'll do this. 1 out of 10 on the rhythm game. What do you guys think about the rhythm game? I've got a number in my head for what I think about it. 1 out of 10 for this idea. Yeah, I've heard of LMMS. Not simple but pretty powerful. Yeah, I've seen it. It's intriguing. I just know I've used this one before, and that's why I'm using it. And I know how to export. And so if I wanted to, I know how to export these independently and then import them into Godot. Got my number 1 out of 10 for the rhythm game. What are you guys feeling for? You like it? You hate it? Is it like really, really rough? 1, we should like skip it and go to the next idea. There's some things in there. 10 is like this game is game of the year going gold platinum. I have a number in my head. My number is 7. I think rhythm might be uncommon for this prompt. I know. That's why I'm kind of like, I gave it a 7. I would say time is valuable. Run with it. Yeah. Okay. Because like I was thinking about, I could do like, I'm thinking like that plague. You know, you could do like a plague game. Roguelike, I think is too big. Automation, I really don't want to build another Factorio, and I think that could easily become a scope creep craziness. Like I'm afraid like this would make me get it never done. Okay. Let's lock it in then. We'll go with rhythm game. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the big part. Do what you enjoy the most. I've secretly always wanted to build a really cool rhythm game. I mean, I also just got done playing like Just Shapes and Beats, and that was so much fun. So I know I'm a little biased on that, and I was inspired by some of those mechanics that I'm gonna use some of that for Edamonia. Um, hmm. Okay, so let's do this. The game loop, because this is what we need to build first anyway. Got our player. We have our opponent. Last time I made a rhythm game, I placed each note manually. Yeah, I'm worried a little bit on that. Maybe keep it, but add survival mode. Sound like you really wanted to try it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm thinking about this in a couple of ways. Right. So like 1, it could be an arena. And that way it could have like multiple opponents even. And you have to survive the arena. Hey, gamer! Zaza! Welcome, welcome. Or It's the like, I guess it's more. This. And I guess he's going from like side to side. And you have to survive against it and like dodge. How many people are participating in this jam? Last time I checked, it was kind of scary. 14,700 people are participating. You think so? What's the? So you say there's a chance. Yeah. For me, I don't care if I win. I don't care if I'm last in like the voting. I don't even care if he doesn't even play the game. I just want to get it done and out and feel good about it. Like, here's a deadline. It's a little reprieve. It's a way to think about something else other than a journal and a phone for like 2 weeks. It's like a little fun side quest, as it were. There are 14 entries already. These are all like, maybe this guy's. That's crazy. I am solo. I might see if Spookers wants to join because he's a musician, and now that this game now it's turning into those are spammers. I figured. I was like looking at them. I'm like, there's like one, the all games, and all that. Like, yeah, there's a lot of these. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I want to trim that out of the VOD. Sweet. Yeah, that's the other thing that bugs me about people when it gets so big. People are just spammers. But yeah, they're all like not even associated with that, so there's totally spammers. But yeah, I might have Spookers join. He's like literally a musician. He's helping me with on Edmonia. Granted, he's been super busy with other things, so he might not be able to help. But I am using 1-Bit Dragon. I like the idea of just using these chords as like your bullet style. And like you can then just mix them with the different instruments. You know? And that'd be a fun way. Because I already know I could use my code from like a rigid body perspective. Maybe, and like have a character that like runs around. And does like, could do like a bullet hell in like an arena. I hope not. You absolutely saw nothing. I didn't think there's any autoplay or like any of that. Can you imagine having to review 14,000 games? Yeah, that's insane. That is so crazy. I don't want to do that. That's for sure. Like, that's why I don't. Even if I finish this and like, I didn't see it, I don't care. Because like, I care that I finished it. Probably a lot of teams. Yeah, I mean, sounds like it. For everyone that's like participating, if you're in a team, how many people do you have in your team? I don't know how many people do what I do and go solo, but maybe I just don't play well with others. I don't know. This is like Undertale style. That's 5 on my team. Okay. I have to go, but I'll check in his price. I subbed with notifications, so I won't miss anything. Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. Or Shadow. Whatever you prefer. I will call you by that. Appreciate it. I will be making a devlog for this as well. Each day I've been trying to work on that, and I'll try to have it as I go, which will also reduce some of my time that I'm working on this game, just so I could have it ready for when it's over and I can just post it, as well as like dealing with my move and everything, so I don't have to like extra time on it. Just trying to think about the game loop here and what I want. Okay, so we should probably make sure, how are we incorporating alchemy? And how are we incorporating shadow? This is easy. This is like the box gets smaller. But I think that's only for this one. Really? Ads, Bezos? Didn't you already do this, Bezos? The idea of alchemy is it transforms things. Mm-hmm. So what if it's like the alchemy, right? Because we got like the sound bite itself, right? The note, the singular note. You have the instrument. Welcome back, everybody. I'm just trying to figure out the alchemy side. You've got the arrangement, aka the chord. This is also like the element. I wonder if it makes sense if you only have like a primary and a secondary. And then you can take like, you would then say like mix, maybe you've got like 2 instruments and like a sheet. Like an arrangement. or yeah, like I'm trying to think about how I want to do this. You can rip off Guitar Hero. I don't really want to. I want to have the alchemy stuff like combine. And so it'd be cool if build up a bar and then apply some effect. It's kind of like that shadow thing that like when you get hit by it, it shrinks. But if it's like earth and water. So like, let's just say, for instance, this is base 1. Which is earth. And let's just say this is flute 1. Which is air. And then I'm thinking like maybe there's like slots you can either add sheets or add arrangements. And so then like this would create a mixture of earth and air in that. So it'd be dumb and we'll call it Bayut. And it's got, you know, like chord 1 sheet, and then its special is like an earth air attack. And so then you can put, you know, Bayut into your primary. And that way, as you're like aiming, and you just do like mouse primary, secondary, like right mouse secondary. And then, I don't know, like by using it increases, or if you hitting them a number of times, the thing will increase. And then say it shoots out, like it goes from like the dotted lines to say like solid. Maybe this is like a wave. Or like a arc. Like they go like, it's just connected. It just connects the blocks and creates like an arc. And they're like combined. But all like those are, it's all based on like how they're combined. But it'll always be like filling them. That way I can build it easily. It's like, I mean, there's always a base. Maybe like 3 augments. All right, enjoy. Good luck. Love what you have so far. Off to bed. Good night. Good night, Mabel. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. This is like combine. So Yeah, if I wanted to recreate that here, let's just say it's base 1 Muse Dash. I have not. Interesting. It looks a lot similar to what we want to do. This is like a... They have a little build craft system before starting a run. I think I'll look up a video on it after. You pick a character, a charm combo or something. Interesting. Like, what if this was like Earth? Here. Oop. And then it was like air, cord 2, and sheet. Hmm. I think about like the focus and inspiration, if that's... So like to me, as a focus is your health. Inspiration could be how long between each times you can attack. Or like use like once you fire your primary, your ready time is based on inspiration. So I wonder if there's like not enough. Like I want to be able to expand it more too. Maybe you get little charms and stuff that it gives you more slots. Maybe that's what you find is... What exactly is going on? I'm lost since I just joined. Okay, so We have to do a theme of shadows and alchemy for the game jam. Shadow is like obscure, to hide, to harm. Alchemy to transform, cure, fix, improve, change. We had some ideas and we're like, well, how could we use a rhythm game? And then we went down to thinking about what if songs were like ingredients and like the notes themselves are the ingredients, and then the different instruments almost reflect elements, hence that like alchemical style, so you can give like an effect style to it. And I'm just randomly saying like base is earth just because I saw it green here and I was like, cool, that looks like earth to me. And now I'm trying to think about like how could you mix them together. And the idea is like you would take this, and this represents the bullet hell that you're gonna fire. But as you fire, you're gonna hear like you'd hear that. But this size here, from like 1 to 16th here, this represents that like one sheet. So this column. And so as you gain more sheets, you could have a longer spray. And so say you're here, and if we're doing it like this, and we hadn't decided, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do like arena style and have it like bullet hell, or I aim and do that, or I'm going like Undertale style and have to like avoid his, and then we switch positions, which is what I was referencing here. And then I attack him with the opponent with like my style. So I haven't really like settled on what I want to do yet. I do kind of like this one. This be like an arena, and like new opponents come in, different difficulties. But I want to make sure that the song effect is doing the alchemy style of mixing these together, and then having that like special attack for whatever causes them to, you know, using that element. This might be a ton of scope creep too. Yeah, so you set up your song, then you go fight. Exactly. And so then your song becomes your bullet hell arc. Like you'll have, you know, a bunch of notes that'll, you know, represent this. It's really big, but you know. And then it would just go in the direction that you're pointed. And then the length is based on that size for like a sheet, based on what you've created. And they'll be doing it back at you too. So hopefully it doesn't sound like crap. Hopefully it sounds good. And you can't just hold it down. You need like a cooldown. And so the idea is inspiration is your cooldown as a stat. And focus is your health. So if you run that way you can track your health. And that way after battles you can either increase your elementals or increase your sheets or your focus or your inspiration. And then you do like arena style until you get to the end with the boss, like a final boss or something. No, I want feedback. Absolutely. Everything is, this is like the best idea we've come up with so far. And I appreciate feedback. At a moment's notice, I could throw it all in the trash and start with something new. There's like a few concerns I have. Like if they're playing random notes of chords back and forth, it could sound terrible. It could be annoying. That's a concern I have. I think I would just want to play the song crafting part. I think the action part is kind of weak right now. Yeah, I would just want to play the song crafting. Yeah, but there has to be a payoff for doing it. Right, like potion craft, you make a potion to sell. There's that whole exploration aspect, which is cool, but I'm also trying not to have too much scope creep. I'm also trying to make it very simple with shapes. I guess with fonts. I suppose it's kind of like Noida too, in a sense, except that's an exploration. Hmm. We need to make this fun. Basically, what if you direct the bullet hell bullets at certain instruments? It's kind of like alchemy together and assemble. Direct bullets at certain instruments. I think we always want the player to feel cool. We want to give them the freedom of choice to build whatever they want and have fun. We need to make sure that this experience is fun. Or if we decide to go the Undertale route. And do like a versus style. I think that there just has to be a payoff. Kind of go back to that like beats in the scene, right? The scene as you put it together, the beat here as you create this really cool thing. And then when you get dumped into here, For the action part, if your song setup made certain patterns or effects, then it would be cool. Yeah. Well, like, that's what the arrangement was, like the chord. So you could pick out, or you maybe have to find different arrangements, hence the different chords. We'd probably want to show like a preview of what it does before you make it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like fold in on itself if you could technically. Yeah. Mm. Better do simple shapes like circle or bust star or something. Mm-hmm. I mean, all the notes are like squares or stars or maybe even like a shield. Like it, if it did like a goes around the player as like a song. Hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So like maybe don't worry about replicating the entire like line is what you're saying. Or like instead of having to worry about copying this, be more like inspired by this. This represents like a bunch of stars or bursts. Yeah, just a lot of effort. Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna look like scatter anyway. No, you're right. Maybe it just like changes the shape, like the sheet Can still be like how long the it goes for. If you go with the Undertale version, it might make more sense. And that's where I started, and that's probably why I got there. Mm-hmm. Haven't finished the game yet? No. You know, I could just turn these into shapes. Right? Like this is like a couple of triangles, this is a straight line, this is a couple of triangles, straight line. This is like an arc. That just becomes the, like, turn them into, like, condense that, and then that becomes the, and then sheets just become like uniqueness. So like this is that gap. This would have two different shapes for its one. This would just be two parallel lines. Right, these are like mini arcs. I have an idea. It basically just creates the singular shape is what I'm thinking. Never made a bullet hell. Is that hard? I just figure I've been instantiating a ton of sprites and maybe I have an object pool. And then just go off like a projectile. I've done projectiles, kinda, with the rigid body stuff. There's a bullet hell plugin that's pretty popular. Oh yeah? Oh, it's just Ninja. Oh, this is it. is the final free version. What? Jeez. Everything's going to paid. Hmm. Okay, what if we go back to the narrative here? Our player is a bard, wizard, alchemical dude. He's fighting in an arena. Part of me also wants to, like, I have this other random idea that, like, you help make songs for different bards out there. And you're just trying to keep them alive as they go out on, like, adventures. And then you can, like, send them out on quests to get you stuff. If you really just want to play in on, like, building songs. And it becomes more of like a how many bards have died because you gave them the stuff that wasn't going to help them. So I'm not exactly sold on the bullet hell either. I like the combining, like you said. It's probably, hey man, just going to smaller stream and spreading the love possibility. Just know that you matter. Love, never give up, never surrender. Hey, thank you. That is really nice of you. I appreciate it. You are awesome. Stay awesome, my friend. Like, what if you're trying to, like, spread your influence? The shadow part? Yeah, that's where I'm like, I'm also kind of like we had an idea where if you got hit by any of the shadow stuff, the box would shrink. Like it'd go smaller. Also an idea of oh, thank you so much. You can pick a lighter path, and if you go shadow, it costs you more inspiration. But Mm, yeah. So, out of curiosity, what if we were like, mm, what if it's like, hey, you know, I need a song to fight a dragon. My group, right? Like you get like a bard that comes to you or something, like maybe you're part of the bardic school or something, and then you have to like, all right, you probably want like a water or thing. You combine it and you like sell and maybe make the whole combined thing where you have to maybe do a Guitar Hero thing and like play the notes like properly to like make it, and then how well you play it is the effectiveness of it, and then you can sell it to them, and then you can like see the status of like, did it kill them, did it work? Maybe there's like factions. Man, this is totally getting into scope creep. But like the faction would be like, hey, I like actually get this group killed, and you're doing one for the Shadow Order. Kind of interesting. I kind of like the idea of that. And it just focuses on like creating the songs. What do you want the player to do though? Move around a character or just clicking UI? Or actually tapping keys rhythmically? That's the question. Because if I do Guitar Hero style, I'll probably want it to be tapping keys. And whether it's tap or hold down, they'd have to like accomplish the song. And then you would sell it, I guess. Oh. Hmm. Because like I definitely like the idea of the combination. And like the bullet hell thing is like okay. But like fighting each other was like an idea from like one-on-oneing. But you know, the whole theme is around Shadow and the alchemy theme. I'd like to have sound, like the rhythm stuff, be a part of it because I think it's cool. It's like, does it make sense that bars would come to you? Maybe they're looking for a new sound. Maybe. If you play badly, your bard spell gets corrupted by shadow. Jazz music. What if you're an enchanter? Okay. Probably offend jazz lovers. What if you're an enchanter? Okay. And the dungeon raiding parties, the adventurers are coming to you and they need help. Like, hey, enchant my sword. Do these things. And the way you enchant it is by doing the rhythm thing. And like you said, if you mess up, maybe shadow goes in there and it adds a little bit of chaos and it like makes it less effective, gives them a chance to like not take hold. And then it becomes more of a like enchant gear to help them succeed, but then sometimes they don't. But then that could allow things for even like shadow missions where like maybe you'll get like a thing that says, hey, the king's. Yeah, exactly, to help sabotage. And like you could get things where like, hey, it's the king's knight is coming to enchant his blade. You get like a note that says like, the shadow order needs you to make a weakening spell on his sword, not a strength spell. And then you can maybe discover spells of different types. I know this is a lot like potion craft, which is funny. But the idea is you don't know. But then that like changes things. Like that's a shadow order to sabotage. It's a shadow thing to sabotage. And you could use money to like purchase different things to then research new spells for enchanting. And the enchanting mechanic is the rhythm game. I like that. Like you can. So let's see. You're an enchanter. Using rhythm. Enchanting. Create enchants. Research new ones. Help adventurers or sabotage them. there's like guilds and factions, and that's like what helps you decide if you're helping or not. If you care, if you help everybody. I don't know. I like where it's going though. I think I'd like this. So I also kind of worry that it sounds too much like potion craft. Because you explore new potions and you craft new ones. But I guess that whole game is about alchemy, so it's kind of like... I like the whole, like, almost like strands of magic as the different elements. Enchant on my sword. Can I build this in 2 weeks is the other question. I guess it's just a bunch of dialogue. I could use dialogic. And do like a scroll view list, which I know how to do thanks to the phone app. Just do a scroll view with a vertical list and vertical box and just create these elements in there. So I could even see how I could build the like history and see like the status of players. It wouldn't be too bad. Hmm. Yeah, in 1 or 2 days to see if it feels fun. This is where I'm like thinking about the design and like can make faces easily with shapes. Yeah, I guess I'm on the fence about exactly what I want to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe I'll try a few things. See what I like. Like you said, This one has like a Papers, Please feel to it, which I like as well. A little bit, you know, where they come and ask you for something and you're like, oh, yeah, here you go. Yeah, the bullet hell idea. We got the Undertale style, which is also cool. Because then it gives you options for like creating cool effects. It's shapes. Because that's the cool part about like just shapes and beats, which is also part of my inspiration. It's like, I still like that idea. Just, it's got to make sense too. It's also got to be fun. Hey, thanks for the raid. Good seeing you. How was your stream? We were having fun. Are you participating in the game jam, perhaps? Yeah, no problem, man. We're kind of in design hell right now. Trying to think about how we want to build this. I've got a couple of I've got more than a couple. I've got a few ideas. We have constraints. You have your own game jam? Awesome. There's so many jams going on. But I really just need to pick a few. I just need to like get the game loop where I want it. I generally don't do many of them. I just told myself I was going to do Pirate Software's jam because I was doing his jam back in January as well as the Godot Wild jam. And I dropped his to finish the Godot Wild jam, which I did finish that one. What game are you going for? Game Jam Addict here. All right, so the theme is Shadows and Alchemy. And something that we've kind of landed on was to try to take music and sound. I also have an additional restriction that I put on myself that I'm just going to use basic shapes and like Sprite modifications of sprites with just simple shapes for the assets. I'll use fonts. That's no problem. But try to do like a rhythm game where the music sound is the ingredients for alchemy. The shadow part has been kind of tricky. And so we've got an idea of like you can build different songs and use like a primary secondary with an attack with like a bullet hell. Build a song and use it from like an Undertale style where you like switch positions and fight each other. Or the one we just came up with was still building the different like enchantment styles. You're like an enchanter, but you use rhythm songs, and people come to you for like, hey, I need my sword enchanted. And you can either like sabotage them, which is the shadow aspect, or like help them or try to help them. And you can see if you help them or not. And you can try to be a successful enchanter, or if you lose your business or die because you sabotage too much. So I think this is like the 3 leading contenders right now. And I just need to build a demo, like prototype for them. But I kind of want to get the game loop feeling tighter before I do. Make sure I really get what I want to get out of it. Yeah. Like I like this because of the simplicity, because I don't have to do additional animations. I don't have to build a bullet hell system. But I would have to create a whole narrative for adventurers and that, which I do have dialogic, which would work. But also, I want it to be fun. Like the whole point, like if you ever play any rhythm games, is it's got to be, you know, exciting and quick and fast paced. And right now, that'd only be for like creating the enchantments. The issue is also just me. I'm getting in my head. And there could be, you know, there could be an option here that I'm missing that would be even better. Wait. I think I might have it. I'm going to wait for the ad to end. Let Bezos get his pennies. And of course, you know, Bezos wants it right after a raid. Of course he does. Taco Bell ad? Oof. I mean, I am hungry. I'll wait. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Bezos to leave. Twenty seconds. I think I have an idea of what might be really cool. 5 seconds. Cool. Welcome back, everybody. Bezos really wants his pennies today. Hey. So, I had an idea right as the ad was about to start. And so, okay. While these are all good, and they all seem that rhythm is all about music. And I like the idea of bards. What if you're a traveling bard, or maybe you're like with a group of bards, and you're going to different cities, and you're performing in taverns. And as you play, you can pick things like shadow, like chords that help like pickpocket and earn extra money in the taverns. And if you get caught, you get like chased out of town, and you don't earn any money. But you can still like craft new songs and try to come up with songs that you think would be good. And then they'll have like extra bonuses. And if you get it like perfect, you get all like the woohoo. For the enchantment idea, I'm saying more of a card game. The cards have chord types with the note patterns. Give the player more of a strategy vibe than a full rhythm game. It's more accessible that way. What if you're a drunken bard and you're there? Pickpockets you're trying to avoid. Interesting. Hmm. I'm thinking like the beer mixed drinks that you get. Good. Also thinking of like what Blepcat said. What if you're like a bar gambler? Like card game, dice game, whatever, but you could use like shadow to try to like load the dice or cheating cards. Try to get away with it. Try to hustle the house, as it were. And you're trying to go to like granted, this might make me break my rule. But I do know that Kenny has a wonderful set of cards on his site. I could also use a rectangle and say 1, 2, 3, ace, king, jack. I could make it simply. I mean, granted, it also means I'd have to build like multiple different game styles, like card games and that. Which then makes the scope creep, which then makes it going to be hard to complete. Something strategy based certainly feels more alchemical. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're in this stage. Once we lock it in, we have to like refine. See ya, Meg. Good luck on your jam, and thanks, Raiders, for hanging out with me while we try to figure out. I do like the strategy. I love strategy games too. I know, like Inscription, you kind of do a little bit of strategy too. We don't have to do rhythm games either. Because like my original idea was like a whole like Factorio automation thing, but it's like really the strategy I like. Hmm. Okay, I gave you feedback. Only fair you give me. Yeah, I'll give you feedback. I'll just be noodling in my head. But I'll give you feedback. No worries. Absolutely. Lay it on me. We have a little wizard. He's got to use alchemy to turn fire into different colors. The fire casts a shadow into another area. And then you control the shadow to solve a puzzle. Oh. Okay. We have little wizards. You gotta use alchemy to turn fire to cast the fire into another area. Yeah, I need to be thinking like you guys. It's pretty good. Does the shadow get like progressively smaller, or like the magic wane if you take too long? Because that might be a way. You might want to create like a rush mechanic to make them feel like they've got a pressure behind it. Otherwise, if they can go infinitely, then it kind of loses the tenseness of the moment. Or if there's like a certain order they have to do the different colors into. The different colors affect the shadow. Okay. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You gotta use alcohol. How are you turning the colors into different colors? Mm-hmm. Like, if you could also add, you could add pressure to like the turning it into different colors. If he takes too long or they put too much, he could have to like burnt out or like have to reignite the fire, and then that adds a little bit of pressure. You gotta explore and collect ingredients. Okay. What's the exploring like? Is it like going in dungeons and grabbing things, or is it like is it a lot of farming and grinding? Okay. You guys are good at this. That's better than what I came up with all day that I was thinking. Because yeah, like I like that. I think adding pressure is good. Making sure that they feel awesome when they do it is good. Yeah, just moments of tenseness I think is like key. One of the ideas I had when I was thinking earlier today for like the automation factory is that you're like Alchemy Co. and you've got orders that have to be filled. And so you gotta create barrels of things. And so you have to set up like conveyor belts that then transform ingredients as they come in. And then you got to get them at the end to like a barrel. And then they get shipped off, and you have to do so many orders. Like that was one of my ideas originally. And you would use like shadow to make poison and harmful things. Like it makes negative like shadows increase negative aspects. So you would have the orders that come in. I do like your idea though, exploring an ancient tower. Like automation factory, freaking. Yeah, I don't know about doing that system in 2 weeks. Yeah. Although, I mean, I was thinking about it. If I had a marker 2D node and a second one here, and then I have an object like here, I would then say it would move from here to here using like a lerp transition, or even like translate over, yeah, lerp over a period of time and just have it go over. Honestly, I even feel like this is easier than the rhythm game. Rhythm games are hard to make. And a barrel is a circle. Hmm. Yeah, I thought about a roguelike and I like threw it away. And then like a plague thing where you've got like viruses and you're trying to cure it. And I was like, eh. But again, I said I could build, I would use an area 2D, and the item would just change position value when it touches certain areas. Maybe. Oh. You can even reuse areas that way instead of making a bunch of points. True. Yeah, I think, see, the problem is I just don't know what I want to make, because I'm a little nervous to make a rhythm game. And it'd be good. I do want it to be simple. And I mean, the idea is definitely not to use the tropes. You don't have to be literal. Alchemy is about transforming. Wonder. Because I could also do like, okay. I could do a vertical, like, shoot 'em up, you know? I think the best one I like so far is just player can decide to make a good song or make a bad song. Crafting the song part of Alchemy, and decision is the shadow theme. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like that too. One is you could have it where you got like a player and he can collect things that are like floating and it transforms him and tries to just fight his way to the end. That's easier if I really wanted to go the easy route. I really do just need to make prototypes and see which one I like. I think we need to settle on the crafting, the alchemy aspect, and like which one we like most. Like, what of that aspect screams like transformation? I always love giving choice to players. Hey, Laser! How's it going? Welcome on in. Or have you been looking for a while? Thanks for chatting. How's it going? Are you happening to be participating in said Pirate Software Jam? Kind of in a stun lock myself, as you can tell. It's like I do like some of the crafting. Kind of reminds me a little bit too of like the Diablo 2 Herodrum, like stuff you would do like the cube and put things together. Experience for a jam. Sometimes you don't need experience. Sometimes you just need to know what you're getting out of it. Test yourself in a period of time. But I also agree, like knowing where your skill set is too. That's why I'm like limiting to be like only shapes, no assets that I'm downloading. Keep it simple, but it's got to be fun. So I'm stun locking myself, which is an issue. Still working on making my first game, and as an RPG maker, still beginning level. That's totally fine. And the fact that you know where you are actually is a step up. There's been many people that put themselves up higher and then tackle things and then get upset with themselves and then quit or go off and do something else instead. So you'll get there. Keep at it. I believe in you. I think what I need to do is work on a crafting style that I like. Like the transformation. And whether that's like crafting music and we're doing like a rhythm thing. Like I think we just need to make that fun. You are setting on the idea, you can go back to thinking what it is you want to do in the game. That's the problem, Bleep. I don't know what I'm set on. I'm warring with the two me's in my head that says, go for it. You can do this. To the other side of me that's like, last time you did this, you overscoped and you've been building this game for months that you're actually building as your main game. Be careful how much you choose to bite off when building a jam game. And so I'm trying to reason with myself in my head. So a lot of those like quiet moments where I'm thinking, I'm talking to myself in my head. Well, I should just be talking out here to you guys and just hear my inner dialogue outward. What is the general concept for the game? I don't have one. I've got like 6 concepts. This is a brainstorming night. It's day 1 of the jam. The theme is shadows and alchemy. Go with the one where you can build it in 2 days. I mean, that's probably the best advice here. I would love to help brainstorm. Awesome. We have different ideas: automation factories, rhythm games, roguelikes. We started down the rhythm style. We thought, what if sound was like your ingredients for your alchemy, and you have different ways to increase them, and you could do like, then you attack people via like Undertale maybe style, like a tournament. Then I kind of was thinking, well, it could also be like a bullet hell, or we could do the Undertale style, which switches sides. Uh, you have a system for creating and combining your music and creating one. And there's an option where instead you're an enchanter using that same style of rhythm creation to enchant or sabotage adventurers going after things, and they either lose or not. And the shadow part is the whole like sabotaging. So I feel like the crafting piece is gonna be core to all of this. Like, I think if I find a good system that I really love, because I think that's also part of it. Like, I like where this is going, kind of, where you can like put things together, combine it, and you get a special attack, or you get like a new style of attack or effect, like a thing, by mixing this stuff together. I like that, but there's like the strategy of like, what's the payoff? Like, you craft it and then it's used for what? And I feel like while these are good ideas, there is maybe something more that hasn't revealed itself in this design that's gonna like emerge as I start throwing things out there. And I think that's where I am. I feel like there's something in the middle that I'm missing, and I'm hoping it gets revealed through enough. And at some point I need to say, enough with the brainstorm. This is the little prototype that we need to make sure is fun, because we're looking for a very small game loop also that is fun. The crafting loop that leads to some payoff that goes back to a crafting loop, or some loop that makes it fun. That's the core of the theme. At least that's my thought. Because right now I don't think these ideas are baked enough to build the demo without it becoming like too far. Like, I'd probably just focus on building the crafting thing. But I feel like this crafting thing needs a little bit more. So, okay, let's see. Rhythm games have like timing in them. Strategy, you're trying to get things done. You usually do it to accomplish something, to get past something, to help or hinder someone or something. Few games that come to mind with these concepts are Little Alchemy and Shapes and Beats. LA would be the core inspo, and SMB feels like the animation style. Yep. I don't think I've ever heard of Little Alchemy before, but Shapes and Beats, my friend, is one of my favorite games ever. Well, not ever. I have other ones too. Little Alchemy. I assume this is what you were talking about. Oh, it's like yeah, I've heard of Infinite Craft. Interesting. You can make so much stuff in this game. Well, this is actually a good indication of like the because of alchemy. There's like a 2. Ah. Interesting. Yeah, it's an ad. Hmm. Interesting. So the game loop is collecting emotions from adventuring, prep for a song, play the song, repeat. Could be. Collecting emotions from adventuring, prep for a song, play the song, repeat. Are you thinking like the like selling ones? Welcome back. We really did. I just kind of chilled. I like this song. What if? So, like the whole like selling, like to help adventures, or like you could intentionally sabotage them, and maybe they'll come back and they'll have like despair. Oh, you wasn't before that. Oh, what about flipping the system around? The crafting is the payoff. You go around as a bard, collecting stories and extracting emotions from it. Then you combine them into a song you have to play. Okay. Crafting is the payoff. I like that. Crafting is the payoff. You go around as a bard. Maybe. So, like, when I was saying you go around as a bard doing the tavern stuff, what if you make that like, you've got, there's different cities, say, and you like go there, and as you collect stories, you create new ones, which like adds to your like repertoire. And based on doing all that, like you increase your fame and your notoriety if you're able to like extract those stories and that. The patrons are filled with sorrow and shadow. Yeah. Mm. So let's say you click on a city and you're like, I'm going to play here. Would you Guitar Hero your play? And maybe the songs you pick bring out like those kinds of emotions or stories. And so you can go down like the really sad route, or you can go down like happy. Like you pick, like based on what you pick brings that, and then you mix them together. There's something here. Feel it. You go around first to collect stories and feelings. Then when you meet a sad person, you rep a song. How does that work when you collect? Keeping in mind, I'm trying to keep it simple with shapes. It's like if I click here, maybe it's the city. Is it like there's like a tavern and they've got like people that you would then pick from, you know, like randomly distributed like in a tavern, and you can only pick like 3 or something, and when you talk to them, some of them maybe won't, like they don't want to talk to you because they're upset, and so like, you know, you can go back to them when you have a song where you can like talk to different people and get different stories, and then go to like the craft it, then talk to these people that didn't want to open up to you, and you can play the song to them or try to unlock it. Could be neat. Each place has one story. You have to do a little investigation first. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like every town has like a narrative. Like you know, maybe there's a couple that's like a forbidden romance, you know, or like a sad like old hero or something. Stuffed up noble. And then I don't know, like there's some like each city you have to like unlock the whole narrative and create the song for it. about this. You're a composer and people come to you asking for a song. They give you the requirements. Red element, melancholy, medium complexity, incentive. Going off the customer concept. Maybe. I definitely thinking about that aspect from this side too. Like an enchanter or even like a bard trying to create songs. It feels similar to this one, which is like I like it and I don't like. I'm on the fence. I kind of like the idea, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Bubcat, if you're not feeling this, if you weren't thinking the same thing I was here, where like the idea is to unlock the song that goes with each city. Like each one has its own song. But I like the visiting town idea as well. It's really up to you. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm probably when I go to bed here soon, I'll probably be like thinking about this. And when I dream and wake up, maybe I'll have like that focus. So it's like, what if like your goal is to get here? And like you start maybe here. And you have like an option of going there or there. And you basically go down paths. To like ultimately get there. So it's like, okay, you unlock that song from there. What do you do with it after that? Like you created it. Like how does it move things forward? Does it get reused again? How are you using it? I think that's too much for now. Yeah. A big picture person. So when it's like a small detail, I then like blow it up. And I think like, because here I'm like, well, what's the payoff? This is like replacing the tavern, kinda. So like you'd go, like maybe this is city 1. And then when you go in there, the tavern is then like different people. You have to find out the here. And from there you build your song. And you like finish, like you unlock the song from that city. I thought that's what you were kind of like saying. And like every city has a song. And then you're like traveling down, and then you're basically a new random tavern people with a different story or a different situation, and you gotta like unlock the song in each city as you go. off is just playing the song you prepared to help others. And you do that a few times and call it a day. It's not bad. I kind of like it. I like the like detective-ish things of like unlocking and finding the hidden stuff. It's a game jam. Yeah, it's not. I have 2 weeks. I have 13 days in not here in 9 minutes. It becomes 13 days. It's a game jam. There is no grand payoff. The grand payoff is the friends we made along the way. Yeah, I'm probably thinking way too much on it. Get it done and then move back. That's why it's a game loop. You do a loop a few times and you call it. Yep. You're not wrong. Mine loop is just light the fire, solve the puzzle, move on. Yeah. I could be making this way more complicated than it needs to be. The first game loop here was like you fight like 10 opponents in an arena. So if we make the like crafting part the main point of this, like let's say we do this, but like the crafting part, like you could have like a tone, you know, whether it's positive or negative. And so when like you craft the song, you can kind of like shift like words around. Because I could create like all I'd have to do is do like an ad lib thing and have like options. Because that wouldn't be hard. Because we already have like, we're going to have a finite number of few stories. I mean, you would put like different adjectives and things in there. And then you could be, you know, you could make it funny or sad or angry. You could like do what you want with it. And then just do it a few times and call it good. But it adds like giving that like control to the player. And they could like make their song their own. You know, like Jane and Tom had a forbidden romance, but if it wasn't for her insufferable dad, you know, which is the noble or something, I don't know, but like, and then the music could just be based the what plays is based on the tone. Like an ad lib wouldn't be that hard. You just have the options you select. You just go down and be like, as you fill it in, you can then choose. But it's still like guided. Oh, I just want to make sure that the whole like crafting the song is the fun part. Like once you get it, you connect it, change the tone. Or change the words, make it silly, do whatever. I don't know about that part. Depends on your experience, I would say. Yeah. I think I'm just getting tired. That's the issue, too. All this, like, stuff that I've been doing. Let me think about it. It has me intrigued. It doesn't have to be anything huge. And I think that's the part I also have to be okay with. It is just a game jam. Edamonia. What can you code that feels cool? Yeah. Edamonia is my main game. I love that game. It's coming together. This is a distraction. Helps me while I'm working on my move. Do something else. Kind of like come back to the journal with like fresh perspective. And, do this for fun. So I got to make sure it's fun. As soon as it becomes not fun, then it's not worth doing. And there'll be some like works, like there'll be things that'll be hard, but in the end, it's still fun. It's a challenge. I like the way these like, I have these like linked up too. Maybe there's something with that. I don't know. Let me think about it. Yeah. I have to get up early in the morning tomorrow, so I think it is midnight for me. I think I'm gonna call it there. I think we should go find somebody to raid. Hey, I know who we could raid. So I'm in a D&D podcast. I hope you guys like D&D. But he is playing a game. Oh, he's playing World of Warcraft. I hope you guys are okay with that. But same. See ya. We're gonna raid my friend Alex, who's part of my D&D group stuff, and call it there. And hope you guys have an amazing night. So, again, thank you guys. Stay awesome.